Hey, what's up? This is Jordan Wagner with PremierGuitar.com here with Steve McCreary of Collings Guitars, and he's going to run us through some of the new electric models from the company today. How you doing, man?
Doing fine. How you doing, Jordan?
Doing excellent.
Thank you.
So, what's the first in line?
This is our City Limits model. All our electric guitars are based on kind of Austin, Texas, ostentatious type names, and of course, because Austin City Limits, this is our take on a single cut, hollow, solid body, flame quilted maple cap on this one. Excuse me. Got a Brazilian fretboard, our parallelogram, overlapping parallelogram inlays. It's a very classic single cut design, and of course features all our deluxe models feature our custom-made pickup rings and knobs made out of grained ivoroid, same material, to match the binding. You can see how they fit the radius of the cap. If you get it close enough, you can see the nice detail in the grained ivoroid and the knobs as well. Little 40,000 strip of tortoise inside the knob there for a little detail. Really nice touch, kind of finishes off nice and clean and beautiful.
It certainly is.
The next is one of our 290s. The Highway 290 is the highway that our shop is on, so another Austin tie-in there. Features two P90 pickups. I'm sorry, this one has a TV Jones pickups, some Filtertron styles, a Classic and a Classic Plus. This is what we call the dog hair finish. It's a black stained piece of mahogany, a white grain fill, clear nitro over it. It's got a Bigsby on it. Of course, there's a little plastic here still covering the pick guard. If you can see what that kind of foggy finish is there, that's the plastic on the pick guard. It's got our little 290 logo up on the truss rod cover, again with the kind of the highway motif there. There's another version of the 290 with a kind of a classic TV yellow finish with the Lawler P90s. Tone Pro hardware. This is one of our I-35s. Interstate 35 is the interstate that runs north and south through Austin, hence the name for this one. This is a standard model. We do a deluxe, which would have binding on the neck, binding on the peg head, optional different inlays, would have our custom ivoroid package. This is a standard model. This is a faded cherry finish on a flame maple cap. And then we've got one of our SoCos, and the SoCo is named after the South Congress Entertainment District in Austin. SoCo is kind of a big phrase around Austin because it's kind of a growing entertainment area of bars and restaurants, and SoCo is just kind of a cool name for guitar, we thought. This is a standard model with, again, some Lawler P90s on it.
A few more accoutrements than the previous model.
It's kind of got kind of a Gretsch vibe to it.
The binding on the headstock and the neck.
Binding on the neck and the peg head on this one. So this is kind of a kind of upgrade to one of the standard models. And here we've got the full deluxe version of the SoCo with the deluxe package, again overlapping parallelograms. This one even has the option of the larger headstock that we've used for decades on our 17-inch acoustic arch tops, and we thought it kind of made a nice package with the SoCo, and again the nice trim package. It's also got a dark cherry sunburst. And one of the cool things about these, and one of the things about Collings being not only an engineer of the highest degree, he's got such a keen design sense. And the flow of this binding line around the back and the way it tapers into this heel, and it's a seamless thing, it's just, you don't see a lot of guitars that kind of have that kind of design awareness and style and a very functional and beautiful instrument. And I think the guitar that Jason Lawler is going to be speaking about today is what it was called our City Limits Jazz, and it's called the City Limits because it's based on kind of the same. The City Limits and the SoCo and the Jazz are all based on kind of that same design as our single cutaway solid body, featuring this same kind of enlarged, upper bout on the bass side, the elegant cutaway. And this guitar, the Jazz, features a X-braced carved spruce top, Italian red spruce for the most part, floating ebony tailpiece, ebony pick guard with a really cool mount Jason designed for this Johnny Smith pickup. Again, the overlapping parallelograms.
I really like how the controls are mounted underneath the pick guard.
Yeah, it's very subtle, very reachable, and it's an interesting guitar. It only weighs I don't know what does that weigh, 6 pounds or something. It's an extremely lightweight guitar. Again, it's spruce and not maple cap.
Yeah.
So it's a really neat guitar for a nice jazz ensemble.
So where can people go to find more information about Collings guitars?
Collingsguitars.com. It's pretty simple to find. We've got Alex has done a great job of shooting the guitars and displaying them. From that you can get to an email mailing list and to our Facebook sites and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really informative site. We've got a lot of stuff. We've got artist images on there. So it's a really it's a lot of fun to go spend some time on the website. We'd love for you to go visit it and then go check out our dealers.
So here with Jason Lawler of Lawler Guitars, and he's going to explain to us how he got started with Collings guitars and implementing his pickups in there. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing great.
Collings developed this electric line 2-3 years ago, and they contacted a lot of pickup makers, and everybody submitted product, and they went through and tested everything and tried it, and found what they liked, and then about 3 months later they ordered the same products again from all the manufacturers just to see how consistent it was, and so they wound up choosing us, and we've been involved with it ever since they started the electric line. I've been really proud to work with Collings because they're one of the premier guitar builders in the world. Some of the pickups that we're using on their guitars are just our standard winds, and some of them are wound specifically for the guitar design that they picked it for, and maybe some will have wax potting and some won't. There's a lot of little details like that we changed specifically for them. Like if you notice the P90 cover on that, it's totally polished out and reflective like a mirror, whereas most P90s are not polished like that. They're rougher looking. So that has a particular pickup cover specifically made that we use for Collings. These are basically our low wind Imperial humbuckers with a couple little changes. Of course, the P90s are standard P90. The pickups in the city limits are Imperial humbuckers. They're a little bit hotter than these. These are a little bit clearer sounding on the I-35, so you get a little tighter bass out of the hollow body. Just recently, we started supplying them with this Johnny Smith style pickup, and we made some changes specifically for Collings, which I can show you. We made a new base plate for it, because typically these types of pickups have a spot welded tab on the side of the pickup, which is pretty weak and it'll break right off. We made a solid steel base plate with the tab a little bit lower on the pickup than usually they're up higher, so you can raise that pickup up higher towards the strings. And it has a 3-point mount, so they've been putting a rubber pad between that mount and the pick guard where it screws on, so you can tighten these adjustment screws, and because there's a rubber pad behind it, you can tip it this way or that way or tilt it. It's totally adjustable with that 3-point. Lollar Guitars makes a lot of pickups that nobody else makes. We actually make pickups from scratch and build them from complete ground up, and we're trying to get more into the jazz thing because there's really there's one company that basically all the jazz guys use, and there's no other selection really. So that's what we're working on doing right now with this particular pickup. We have a lot of new things coming out. We have a Fender wide range humbucker reproduction, the 70s Fender reproduction humbucker coming out in about 60 days. Thunderbird bass pickups we got coming out. We're always trying to do new things that nobody else is doing. So that's basically our bag, and we work with a lot of guitar makers. It's been a really important part of our business. I really enjoy working with guitar makers, having been a guitar maker myself. But pretty much now all I make is pickups, and I'm happy as a clam to be involved with Collings Guitars.
So where can people go to find out more information about your pickups?
Lollarguitars.com.
Well, thanks so much for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
This is Jordan Wagner, and you're watching PremierGuitar.com.